Hey YouTube, Logan with Hideaway Homestead here, coming to you today with a video on tree hay. And I'm making this video because I had a request for this video in the comment section of a previous video, and that's something that I just wanted to say at the beginning of this video, is that this is a really new YouTube channel. So if you have any suggestions for videos, leave them down in the comments. There is a 99% chance that I will make a video of whatever you put in the comments within reason, as long as it's something that I have a knowledge set about, and as long as it's something that's within reason of something that I can video and document. So the question was, what was my favorite tree species to use for tree hay? And as far as for drying it for wintertime, definitely the mulberry. The reason being because of their large leaves. Now you can put bundles of little leaved plants like willow and dry them out and feed them to your livestock. Works perfectly fine. The one reason that I like to do these is because the hanging space, it eventually gets to be a little too much unless you've got a big barn, and we don't yet. So until we have a large storage area where we can hang up tons of these bundles, this size, or probably about 2 or 3 times this size, about 200 of them is what we're going to end up needing in years to come. But if you've got to have it more compact, this is the way to go. And we're going to see that here in just a couple of days when I make the rest of this video. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and I'm going to take each one of these stems, right, and I'm going to strip the leaves off of the stems when they're dry. And I'm going to put them in either a bucket or a garbage can, something like that. So I'm putting them here in the shade to dry. You always want to let them dry in the shade. It'll keep the sun from bleaching them out, and help to hold a lot of that nutrients in and everything. So dry your leaves in the shade in a warm spot that's got some pretty good ventilation. I kind of spread them out up over this rabbit cage that I just installed. You can see here I've got it all spread out, so it's kind of like a drying rack. And we'll keep them up here for just a few days, and then I'll come in and I'll peel them off. Now you could do it before too. You could go ahead and peel all the leaves off and then just lay them on screens. This here I'm doing just because I think it's probably going to be easier from my experience to just continue cutting and then laying this out and letting it dry and then stripping the stems, just because these stems help to keep a little bit of air in between the leaves, and it helps them, I think, dry out faster. So I'm gonna do that. And so we'll let these sit up here for a few days, and we'll come back and I'll show you how we store them in containers after they're dry. Alright, so we've let the mulberry dry out, and I'm about to show y'all how I store it. The reason I let it dry out on the sticks first is because we don't have an area really large to store a bunch of these bundles of leaves. So I'm going to store them in this metal trash can. And what I'm going to do is, now that they're dry, so that way they won't be rotting or composting inside the bin, I'm just going to take the stem, I'm going to rake the leaves off into the bottom. That leaves me with the stem without any leaves. I'll just rake through all these and make a small dent in this. But the reason that I like mulberry the most is because if you're going to store like this, the work that's involved is stripping the leaves off of the stems. So if you'll notice, these stems are pretty much devoid of leaves now. And if you did this with something like willow, it's going to take a lot more work for less leaves. So I'm gonna finish up raking all these off, and I'll show you how much I get. It's gonna be surprisingly little compared to what we cut. So I'll be back in just a second. All right, so here we are, got all those stripped. A little bit more than what you expect. I mean, it's, you know, 4 inches now. We could press this down, but it's going to crush a lot of the leaves, and I don't want to deal with a lot of dust. But, you know, these here are gonna be perfect tree hay for my rabbits in the wintertime. Now, I'll fill up one of these, so I would have to gather about 10 times what I did right now. And that would probably last me at the very most, with the amount of rabbits that I have, which is 6 breeding does and 2 bucks, plus whatever babies they have, and then I've got 4 that I'm raising. If I were to have less rabbits, it would last me longer, but yeah, this here wouldn't last a whole winter season. So that's why I've said before in my videos that I really don't have my fodder systems up to par yet. Mostly it's just during the summer that I give it to them, and I'm really just gonna have maybe enough this year to do me a couple of months. But once we get the other trees in the system and get everything going, it'll be easy to do a whole winter's, maybe even a little bit more of storage. But that's pretty much it on my favorite tree to do for tree hay as far as for wintertime storage. So if this was helpful, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more stuff like this. I drop a video every day, so ring that notification bell. And if you got any questions or anything, and leave it in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.